The following is a presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and future. Well, it's a start of a 3-game set between the Philadelphia Phillies and Los Angeles Dodgers. Why, good afternoon. I'm Ron Juckett, and it's time once again for our lunchtime replay for this Thursday, May 2nd, 2019. So we go back to July 23rd, 1982 for the Phillies and the Dodgers. Now, the Dodgers hold a healthy 11-game lead in the National League West. They're going to have to pull a 78 Red Sox of epic proportions to blow it. And Atlanta is going to have to come get them if there's going to be anything resembling a race over the last 8 weeks of the season. Now, the Phillies, on the other hand, are 6 games behind the Montreal Expos. The Phillies are 55-37. They are playing excellent baseball, and Michael Jack Schmidt is in line for the Triple Crown. He leads all of baseball with a .367 batting average. He leads the majors in homers, and he leads them in RBIs. It's not just the National League. He is the best player in baseball right now. And so, as Dave Stewart, not quite Uncle Stu yet, gets ready to take on the Phillies, can the Phillies beat the Dodgers in a game they probably need to win and take 2 out of 3 over the weekend? And can Schmidt continue pounding the baseball? That's the story for the Phillies coming in, and the Dodgers can already smell October. As Retro Sports Network presents Major League Baseball Lunchtime Replay from 1982, it's the Philadelphia Phillies at Dodger Stadium against the Los Angeles Dodgers. You bring in your own Dodger dogs today. And so, good afternoon, everybody. This is the first of a 3-game set. How did I manage to lose the mouse? Between these two teams, as we said, Dave Stewart, 3-4 on the year, will face Larry Christensen. The Dodgers are 61-34. The Dodgers can smell your butt. Okay, that's always good to know that, Mr. Clinton. The Dodgers are playing game number 96. The Phillies are playing game number 93. And all this just to show you that the Phillies are still 6 games behind Montreal. They play well on the road. They're 27-19, but the Dodgers are 31-14 at Chavez Ravine. They've won 7 of their last 10. They won their last game. The Phillies are playing good baseball, but they can't make up any ground on Montreal. And if they can't make up any ground on Montreal, it's 1982. You aren't going anywhere. And I wasn't kidding about Mike Schmidt. Look, he's got a 10-point batting average lead over Bill Buckner. He leads Dave Kingman by 4 home runs, and he has a 5 RBI lead on Cecil Cooper. He's having an incredible year. And oh yeah, Ricky Henderson does have 90 stolen bases. So, Dave Stewart isn't quite the irresistible force yet. But he's on the hill this afternoon, or this evening, making start number 11 on the year. He is 3-4 with 2 saves and a .411 ERA. Hard to believe he never won a Cy Young. He did face the Phillies in relief twice. This is his first start against Philadelphia. His last start came a week ago Saturday against the New York Mets, probably in New York. 7 2/3 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs, all earned. He walked 2 and struck out 4. So on the year, in mixed usage as a starter and a reliever, he has thrown 81 innings, allowed 87 hits, 7 home runs, 42 runs in total, 37 earned. He has walked 18 and struck out 50. And against those putrid Mets, he did get his 3rd win of the year. Now, of course, for the Phillies, it's not just good morning, good afternoon, go Dodger Blue. It's not just Mike Schmidt and the 24 Dwarfs. Here's a lineup for the Phillies. Bob Dernier will lead off and play center field. Pete Rose is the first baseman. The last time we had the Phillies on, they won it on a walk-off hit and a run homer by Mr. Rose. Gary Matthews, the Sarge, is in left. He'll bat third. Mike Schmidt having the year of all years will clean up and play third. Bo Diaz is the catcher. He'll bat fifth. George Vukovic, the right fielder, will bat sixth. Manny Trio, the second baseman, will bat seventh. Ivan De Jesus is your shortstop, and he will bat eighth. And Larry Christensen, good for 120 pitches, will bat ninth. I doubt this will be a complete game for anybody, but we'll see. The Dodgers line up this way in the outfield. Dusty Baker a 9-5 in left. Kenny Landreau a 5-3 in center. Pedro Guerrero a 4-8 in right. Baker has the best range. Guerrero has the best arm. In the infield, the Penguin. Ron Say is a 6 at third. Bill Russell a 7 at short. Steve Sachs is 6 at second. That's not easy to say. And Steve Garvey is an 8 at first. Mike Scioscia behind the plate. He is a 7 and a 5. We say hello to BJ Wanland. How are you? You can make all sorts of... I don't disagree with any eurythmic jokes. Who am I to disagree? We travel the continent and the 7 seas. Oh, thanks, Clinton. I feel quite well. And Tribe Fan 879, how are you? So, haven't been run over. I thought Burgess Meredith was at third. All right, so with that bad thing out of the way, Bob Dernier, 277 homers and 30 RBI. Phillies need 2 out of 3 this weekend, and of course, this is a preview of the real-life 83 National League Championship Series, but there's no Charlie Hudson to bail the Phillies out. Stewart delivers, struck him out. That's how this one starts. A 2-2 fastball, swung on and missed for strike 3. And that brings up Pete Rose. I would imagine that picture of Pete was off a Fleer card, because he was their spokesman, I think, in 81 or 82. Rose at 277, 3 homers and 31 RBI. Stewart on a 79-degree night, the wind gently wafting from left to right at 3. Here's the pitch. Ground ball up the middle. Russell by the bag at second. Over to Garvey, 2 out. So here's Gary Matthews at 293. 13 homers and 43 RBI. Good full house here at Dodger Stadium. Big series for them. They want to prove to this national internet audience that they are for real. Pitch from Stewart. There's a line shot into right. Guerrero picks it up. The long throw into Russell is not in time. And here he is, Mike Schmidt, who on the real year hit 280, 35 homers, and 87 RBI. But in the replay, get these numbers. He's at 367, 34 homers, 81 RBI, and an OPS of 1.305. That gives him an OPS plus a 273, which means if the average National League hitter is 100, Mike Schmidt's performance is 173% better than the average National League player. And in July, you can see it. He's hit 6 homers and hitting 382. So Stewart takes a big gulp. 2 out. Matthews on second. Pitch to Schmidt. And he foul tips it to make it 2-2. You know, the announcer's jinx will come in here. I've hyped the heck out of Schmidt. He's probably going to strike out 3 times. The 2-2. Here's a fly ball to left. Back goes Baker. Way back there. He turns and watches it go. So Mike Schmidt homers. Number 35 for Schmidt down the line in left, and it's 2-0 Philadelphia. Here it is again. So you keep producing like that, young man, nobody's going to catch you. And the Phillies go on top 2-0. Dodgers also, did I fix my mic? I hope I'm still using the same mic setup as last night. Dodgers had Greg Crocodile Brockett first as Garvey moved down the coast of San Diego. Not in 80, was it not in 82? Stewart finally figured out how to pitch once he left Lasorda's clubhouse. And Clinton Park says 1989 he lost to Saberhagen, who won 23 to Stewart's 21 and 4 shutouts to Stewart's none, and had a lower ERA by 1 full run. And of course, the 90 was the year that Bob Welch won 27. That's right. That's right. I was talking about that. All right, Bo Diaz at 284, 8 homers, and 51 RBI. Didn't mean to make your head swim with all the numbers, but Schmidt's having a year of years, and you just saw why. 2 out, 2-0 Philadelphia. Here's the pitch. Struck him out. He waved at a 1-2 fastball, and that's the inning. But not before Schmidt makes it 2-0 on a 2-run shot. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors. Half an inning in the books. It's already the Phillies, too. Here come the Dodgers. And Larry Christensen on the hill for Philadelphia. 10-4 with a 2.54 ERA. This is start 21 for Larry. Last time out came against the San Francisco Giants, who battered him pretty well over 4 1/3 innings 5 days ago. In that game, he took no decision. Christensen allowed 7 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned. He didn't walk anybody and struck out 1. On the year, 138 innings, 104 hits, 3 homers, 43 runs allowed, 39 earned. He has walked 35 and struck out 87. The lineup that he will face: Steve Sachs will lead it off. Kenny Landreau is in center. He'll bat second. Dusty Baker will bat third. Pedro Guerrero. Lasorda's finally figured out to use him as cleanup. Ron Say at third will bat fifth. Then Steve Garvey, who was so insulted batting sixth he moved to San Diego. Mike Scioscia will bat seventh. He's behind the plate. Bill Russell will bat eighth. And Dave Stewart, who threw 20 pitches, will go ninth. He's not exactly John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. No, his name is not my name, too. Defensively for the Phillies, Gary Matthews is a 5-6 in left. Bob Dernier a 5-4 in center, and George Vukovic a 5-7 in right. That adds up to average. Mike Schmidt's a 10 at third. Ivan DeJesus a 6 at short. Manny Trillo a 10 at second, and Pete Rose is a 6 at first. That's a pretty good defensive infield. Bo Diaz a 9-4 behind the plate. So Sachs not going to bunt here at 229, 3 homers, and 30 RBI. So Christensen delivers, and Sachs lines out one to Dernier, and that's the first out. And they play in on the corners for Kenny Landreau at 252, 3 homers, and 25 RBI. Can you imagine, in Schmidt's case, being so good that you are almost twice as good as the average player in your league? Here's the pitch from Christensen, and there's a line drive into left center. That's a base hit, so Landreau's on with a single. And with Dusty Baker coming up, Kenny's going to try and steal. Dusty at 260, 10 homers, and 54 RBI. Landreau goes. Diaz's throw down to Trillo is not in time, and so Landreau has his 24th steal of the year. And so here's Baker with a runner on second. Single would make it 2-1 in an awful big hurry. Christensen deals, and that will be a base hit in the center field. Landreau will round third. He's going to run on Dernier. The throw home is definitely not in time. It goes up the line a bit, and the Dodgers make it 2-1 here in the first. For Pete Guerrero, who's having himself a monster year, he's at 302 to 27 homers and 71 RBI. Baker on first. We're still just in the first inning. 2-1 Philly, 1 out. Pitch to Guerrero. That's a base hit into left field, and Baker will hold at second. So Christensen's only retired 1 batter, and that'll bring up Ron Say at 220, 12 homers, and 44 RBI. Talking about Dave Stewart, he finished 4th in 88 to Frankie Viola and Eckersley. And in the 87 Cy Young race, he lost to Clemens, who didn't even pitch until May 1st. And with the exception of those 4 years, Dave Stewart was just another .500 pitcher. I wonder if there was some vitamin injections involved in the rise of Dave Stewart. Because you're right. I mean, he was a phenomenal pitcher for those 4 years. But if you really look at it, would you say he was the best pitcher in any of those years? I don't think so. Christensen deal. Struck him out. He looked at strike 3, and there's 2 out for Garvey. Steve at 268, 11 homers, 39 RBI. Say is Paul McCartney's favorite player. Ho, 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 ho. Dave's at it earlier today. Ron, say what you want. Don't play games with Wrigley's affection. Pitch to Garvey. Struck him out. Christensen worked out of it. A 1-2 curve on the outside corner. And down go the Dodgers. A run on 3 hits and no errors. It is Philadelphia 2, Los Angeles 1. Todd B., how you doing? Lunchtime with 1982. So it's George Vukovich, Manny Trio, and Ivan De Jesus to face Uncle Stu here in the second. Vukovich at 204. That's his batting average, not his weight. 2 homers and 11 RBI. Tomorrow we did make a change. I can't in good conscience feature a San Francisco team that's 18,000 games out of first place. So Toronto and the White Sox. Not to be confused with Josie and the Pussycats. That's tomorrow at noon right here on Retro Sports Network. Pitch to Vukovich from Stewart. Ground ball to Russell. Over to Garvey for the out. I should sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game. You PayPal me some money and I'll sing you Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Now, the cat now heard that, and now she thinks I'm going to sing. Thanks. Here's Manny Trio. Manny at 235 with no homers and 23 RBI. Moreno is right. Pitch from Trio. Struck him out. Stewart got him on a 2-2 fastball right down Broadway. And that's 2 out for De Jesus, who's at 254. No homers and 35 RBI. Dave delivers, and there's a ground ball to Garvey. Picks it up on a hop over to Stewart. Makes a great play, does Garvey, to shovel it over to Stewart to retire the side. De Jesus can't believe Garvey made the play. He should be more concerned about Garvey looking at his wife. No runs, no hits, no errors. Inning and a half in the books. It's the Phillies 2, the Dodgers 1. Somehow YouTube would find... Well, YouTube... See, that would be the smart thing, because I shouldn't be singing at all. And it should just give me a strike for being in bad taste. Actually, you can... There's the 1908 wax cylinder version that is royalty-free that you could play if you want to hear, like, Thomas Edison sing it. Here's Mike Scioscia. Wonder if that's on your Spotify playlist. Scioscia's at 274. 4 homers and 29 RBI. Russell and Stewart to follow here in the bottom of the second. Christensen deals, and there's a liner right to Schmidt, who picks it up on a hard hop over to Rose for the out. Schmidt does it in the field. Schmidt does it at the plate. What can Mike Schmidt do for you? Here's Bill Russell at 287. 2 homers and 30 RBI. Todd B says Garvey cut in front of Sachs because he thought Sachs might field it and throw it to Vin Scully. And that won't get you a Dodger dog at all. Farmer John in Pepperidge Farm, remember, if Steve Sachs beans you in the head with an errant throw. Okay, so here's Christensen. He's only thrown 30 pitches. Here's Russell, 1 out. Here's the pitch. Russell, ground ball to first. Rose picks it up, flips it over to the pitcher, covering 2 out. For Dave Stewart at 158 and 1 RBI. 3 for 19 on the year, 2 out. And Christensen makes the mistake of taking a deep breath. Here's the pitch. Got him. He got him. I don't know what he was looking for. It's a fastball just below the belt, and the Dodgers are down in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 2, Philadelphia 2, Los Angeles 1. And for Dave Stewart, it'll be Larry Christensen, Bob Bernier, and Pete Rose. So Christensen is 6 for 42 on the year. My spidey sense tells me he's hitting 143. He has 2 home runs. How about that? And 4 RBI. No, that was Chuck Knobloch, wasn't it? And yes, he is taking. Let's talk about sacks, baby. Baseball demos used to have a Dodgers telephone in the 1980s. It was called a saxophone. Don't forget Al Worthington Ford in Long Beach. He might have an ostrich, but he also has the Ford that you want at Al Worthington Ford right off the 405 in beautiful Long Beach. Stewart delivers, and there's a strikeout. He got Christensen. He swung on and missed on a 3-2 pitch. So through 9 batters, Dave Stewart, 2 1/3 innings, 2 hits, the home run to Schmidt, and 4 strikeouts on 41 pitches. Bob Dernier struck out his first time up. Yep, grown. That's the proper response, BJ. Grown. Hey, Mr. Demos, if you want, drop me a note, and you're more than welcome to join our... tonight we're going to be talking about the joys of cards and dice with ID Jester. Hopefully some others. Dave, if you want to join that, just send me another email. Be happy to have you along, because you two are the masters of cards and dice games in the community, along with Al Red Sox fan and Rob exclamation point. Pitch from Stewart. Dernier drops one. I forgot to play him in. Long throw over to Sachs covering up the bag, and Dernier is out. So 2 out for Pete Rose, who's 0 for 1. So Dernier trying to use his speed, didn't get him much. And so there's 2 out here in the top of the third. 2-1 Philadelphia. Rose grounded out to Russell his first time up. Stewart delivers, and that's a right back to Dave. Over to Garvey. Rose has wheels, and Rose beat it out. Yeah. So Garvey was taken off the bag. Stewart kind of lollygagged that throw, and Rose is Charlie Hustle for a reason. And so 1 on and 2 out for Gary Matthews, who doubled his first time up, and on deck is Mike Schmidt. Pitch from Stewart. Matthews, fly ball to center, and in comes Landreau, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hit, and the air does not hurt. 2.5 in the books. Philadelphia 2, Los Angeles 1. All right, that would be perfect. So we know we're going to get baseball demos, and we're going to have ID, and I are going to talk about the joy of cards and dice. Tribe fan is won't be able to watch tonight. He's making the little over 2-hour drive to Columbus to watch Game 4 of the Bruins and Blue Jackets. Good for you. I love Columbus being the underdog story. And so, as BJ says, have fun. So Steve Sachs is 0 for 1. Larry Christensen threw 9 batters, 2 innings, 3 hits, 3 strikeouts on 37 pitches. Line to Dernier to start the game, and he's not going to bunt here. Larry delivers, and there's another fly ball to Dernier. Doesn't even have to move. So, Southern California weather is so unpredictable. It's now 78 degrees. No smog even. And the wind is still 3 miles an hour from left to right. Kenny Landreau at the plate. Kenny singled, scored, and stole his 24th base of the year. 2-1 Phillies, bottom of the third. Pitch to Landreau, and there's a base hit in the right. Vukovic on a hop. And Landreau is on first in prime position to steal with Dusty Baker at the plate. Baker singled and drove in his 55th of the year, his first time up. Landreau goes. Diaz's throw down the trio is not in time. And so Landreau has 25 steals on the year. And so Baker has another duck on the pond to bring home. 2-1, Philadelphia, 1 out, bottom of the third. Christensen delivers, and Banker walks. So the 3-1 was just high and away, and that'll bring up Pedro Guerrero, who singled his first time up. He's got 71 RBI on the year, which would be a great number for late July if it wasn't for Mr. Schmidt. Christensen's pitch. Guerrero, ground ball to DeJesus. Trio for one. They will not throw to get him. So Baker, with a takeout slide, stops the throw. All right, Emily, we love you too. Guerrero on first, Landro on third for Say, who struck out his first time up. Ooh. Danny Ainge had a mild heart attack. That's not good. Not good. As we're talking about how you rolled dice online, I use Ball Roller. I think ID and Clinton just said it. Rock and Roll Dice is what Clinton uses, and I know ID uses that. 2 out for Say, and he will... What just happened? Christensen balked on a 2-1 pitch. He looked over to Guerrero after he decided he wanted to go home, and the first base umpire, Julio Iglesias, says, "To all the runners I've loved before, move up 90 feet. It's a balk. The game is tied. To all the runners on base right now." So Say struck out. We're tied at 2 on the balk. Christensen says a few words, but you're not going to get anywhere with that. The 2-1 to Say. And there's a fly ball to center. Dernier doesn't even have to move again. Or DeJesus, as that matter, as it was a pop-up to short. And in any event, the Dodgers tie the game on a run and a hit and no errors. After 3, it's the Phillies 2, the Dodgers 2. That's Ball Roller. Yep. And as the sage Dave Demo says, randomness programs can be dicey. Here's Mike Schmidt. So Schmidt's up to 370, 35 homers, and 83 RBI. So he's matched his real-life home run total and is 4 off the RBI total. Deep breath for Stewart. 2-2, top the 4th. Dave delivers, popped up, Socha behind the plate. He goes to the screen, and the man in the Panama hat drops the radar gun and fields the foul ball. So the count is a ball and 2 strikes from Stewart to Schmidt. Here we go. Struck him out. So he swung on and missed on the 1-2 fastball, and there's 1 out for Bo Diaz, who struck out his first time up. Yes, I do. I think you two would be great. Pitch from Stewart to Diaz, and that's a base hit in the right field. Guerrero picks it up on several hops and throws it back in. So Diaz on first. 1 out for Vukovic, who grounded out to short. 3rd hit for the Phillies here in the top of as we played the top of the 4th. Stewart delivers, ball 4. So Dave Stewart has been pretty pedestrian. That's his first walk to go with those 3 hits. Runners on first and second for Trio, who struck out his first time up. Sitting on a 7-game hitting streak. Pitch from Stewart. Got him! A 1-2 on the inside corner, 2 away. How you doing, Bobby Catalano? Good to have you along. Hope you are well. Here's Ivan DeJesus. Grounded out to first, his first time up. So Stewart almost out of the jam here. Here's the pitch. DeJesus slaps one down to Say. He goes to Sachs for the shutout at second, and that will retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. 3.5 in the books at Dodger Stadium. Philadelphia 2, Los Angeles 2. You're not late. A pedestrian walk, so that makes sense. Todd B is so worried about his lawn, he can hear the grass growing from here. The sun came out here, I think, on Sunday, Todd. It's, Alexa, what's the temperature?
Right now, it's 43 degrees. Tonight, expect a low of 43 degrees.
And just a reminder, it's 12:30 in the afternoon on the 2nd of May in Vermont. 43 degrees. See your breath outside, light drizzle. Unlike the 78 here in Los Angeles. Steve Garvey struck out his first time up. Scioscia, Russell to follow, and Stewart if anyone should reach. Christensen deals, struck him out. A 1-2 pitch swung on and missed, and that's 4 for Larry. Brings up Scioscia, who grounded to third in the second inning. 2-2 the score. Scioscia up the middle, trio by the bag, over to Rose, 2 out. So 2 quick outs for Larry. 3 hits overall for the Phillies, 4 for the Dodgers. Bill Russell grounded out to Rose his first time up. Christensen deals right back to Larry, over to Rose, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 4, Stewart's already given the fatigue symbol. That's not a good sign. Phillies 2, Dodgers 2. 42 in Southern Maine. 84 where Todd B is. 90 in Virginia. Bobby was fighting LA traffic. Absolutely. My Catamounts fan, of course. I'm almost 50. That's almost the prime age to be a Catamounts fan. The kids don't really care about it up here. But yes, good basketball program now. Hockey program has fallen on hard times, but the soccer program, both men's and women's, are both strong. But they don't play baseball up here anymore. Larry Christensen is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Stewart starts the top of the 5th with a fly ball to left. Baker has it for the out. 1 away for Bob Dernier. So Stewart threw 18 batters, 4 in the third innings, 74 pitches, 3 hits, the 2-run shot by Schmidt. That's not easy to say. A walk and 6 strikeouts. Dernier is 0 for 2. And so Garvey and Say come in for the bunt. Pitch from Stewart, right to Sachs by the bag at second. Garvey scampers back to first for the out. So 2 out for Pete Rose, who's 0 for 2. Grounded out twice. Stewart delivers. Fly ball to left. Baker into foul territory. Makes a diving catch against the wall. He fought with someone from the Morgana Silicone Company of Redondo Beach, and he just kind of picked it up where he shouldn't. It's still an out, and halfway home, Philadelphia 2, Los Angeles 2. So let's do the in-game box score. Mike Schmidt with his 2 RBIs. That's a big blow for Philadelphia. Kenny Landreau is 2 for 2, and he has both the Dodger runs. Got him in the first and the third. Pitching, Stewart's done all right. He hasn't pitched great, but he's pitched better than Christensen. That's kind of a surprise. And so the joy of cards and dice tonight on Retro Sports Network, and tomorrow our baseball will end with Toronto and Chicago, the White Sox. And if you missed it last night, we did the first of our Pro Football Classics replay, the 75 Dallas Cowboys and Minnesota Vikings. Dave Stewart is 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. He'll bat here. He only threw 8 pitches in the 5th. Christensen delivers. Ground ball to DeJesus over to Rose. 1 away. So through 18 batters, Christensen 4 in the third innings, 4 hits, the 2 runs, both scored by Landreau. Both earned. He's walked 1 and struck out 4. They're going to play for Sachs to bunt, so we're not going to do it. 68 pitches for Larry. That's pretty efficient. He deals, and Sachs hits a ground ball to Rose. Christensen over to first to cover, and there's 2 away. It's 71 degrees where I live. Wait, Catamounts? That's where I used to go to school. Oh, really? Oh, North Carolina for a long time. No, Vermont. BJ, did you go to school in Vermont? Because that's where I am. I'm in Burlington. The most home runs ever in a month. But we're on pace this regular season for over 40,000 strikeouts. Unbelievable. Is it cards and dice or dice of cards? Either way, it's not normally PC. So here's Landreau. He's 2 for 2. He has stolen 2 bases and scored twice and singled twice. Christensen wants to get him out. Ground ball to DeJesus by the bag at second. Long throw over to Rose, and they finally get Landreau. And so no runs, no hits, no errors. We've played 5 at Dodger Stadium. The Phillies 2, Los Angeles 2. So Matthews, Schmidt, and Diaz. As Stewart begins the second inning of fatigue work possibly. These two teams took last night off, so everybody's fresh. Matthews doubled, 1 for 2. Also scored one of the runs on the Schmidt homer in the first. Here's the pitch. Struck him out. 2-2 at the belt on a breaking ball, and that's the 7th for Stewart. Brings up Mike Schmidt. He's homered and struck out. Feast or famine. You'd think it was Gorman Thomas or something. Stewart deals, and Schmidt hits this one into left center. Back goes Baker to the track, and he makes the catch. He kept that in the ballpark. The wind is not really much of a factor, but what little did, it kept it in the yard. Dodger Stadium plays awful big at night, and there's 2 away. For Bo Diaz, who has singled and struck out, he's 1 for 2. 2 out, top the 6th, tied at 2 between Philadelphia and Los Angeles. Diaz, ground ball to Russell. Garvey has to hold the bag, and he does. So no runs, no hits, no errors. Stewart probably won't bat again, but he's done 2 solid innings, supposedly being tired. After 5.5, we're still at 2-2. Western Carolina is also the Catamounts. Okay. Is it S&M or M&S? But that would be painful. Oh, Clinton. Baseball demos is such a bad influence on you. So it'll be Dusty Baker, Pedro Guerrero, and Ron Say here in the 6th. Baker has walked and singled and drove in a run. Christensen delivers, and Dusty hits this one into left center. Dernier makes the catch. 1 out for Guerrero. Pedro is 1 for 2, so he's got a single. Good pitcher still going on right here. Christensen deals. Fly ball to center. Dernier has been a busy guy tonight. He makes the 2nd out. Here's Ron Say. Ron is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Christensen just loving the Southern California weather. The pitch. Right center field. In comes Dernier, and the sign goes down in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 6, we're getting the cardiac time here, boys and girls. It's the Phillies 2, Los Angeles 2. And so Vukovic, Trio, and DeJesus to face Stewart. George is 0 for 1 with a walk. Thanks, Bobby. Pitch to Vukovic. And there's a ground ball up the middle. Sacks on the grass and throws it to Garvey for the out. So 1 out for Trio, who has struck out twice. Manny doesn't strike out very often. Only 30 times in 312 at-bats. So Stewart has done his work. But so has Christensen. Here's the pitch. Trio sends this one to Say. Long throw over to Garvey. Trio has wheels. And they got him. That was a bang-bang play. Trio has speed, and Say just gunned it. 2 out for DeJesus, who is 0 for 2. It's okay, Uncle Ron. Just pace yourself and don't make waves. Okay. DeJesus is grounded out twice. Once in the 2nd, and the other time in the 4th. Stewart delivers. Got him! An 0-2 fastball or 0-2 breaking ball on the inside corner, and that will retire the side. Time to stretch. You can sing "Take Me Out to the Ballgame" to yourselves after 6.5. It's the Phillies 2, the Dodgers 2. So Steve Garvey, who's struck out twice, Mike Scioscia, and Bill Russell. 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors for the Phillies. They've left 3 on. The Dodgers, 2 runs on 4 hits and an error, and they have left 3 on. Pitch to Garvey, ground ball to DeJesus, in the hole it's short, over to Rose, 1 away. That's true. Here I am. You're just too clever for yourself. Clowns to the left of me and jokers to the right, and here I am, stuck in the middle with you. Here's Scioscia, he's 0 for 2. Christensen deals, and there's a fly ball to left center. Dernier goes back a few steps, and 2 out. We haven't really had anything threatening in a while. Here's Billy Russell. Billy's 0 for 2. Lasorda would love Russell to get on so he could get Stewart out of the game. Pitch from Christensen. Fly ball to center, not going to happen. Dernier moves to his right, and makes the catch. After 7, it's still a 2-2 ball game. So Lasorda's going to gamble, at least have Stewart pitch to Christensen. Larry is 0 for 2 with a strikeout, and has only thrown 96 pitches. But Len Matusek will pinch hit. So Christensen's day is done. Matusek at 0.87 on the year with an RBI. So again, Stewart will get Matusek. Matusek a lefty. And so Stewart's ready. Here's the pitch. Got him. An 0-2 pitch swung on and missed, and that's 8 or 9 strikeouts for Stewart. Now it's 59 on the year. So in 106 pitches, he's thrown 7 1/3 innings, 3 hits. The homer by Schmidt. He has walked 1 and struck out 9. And so Bob Dernier is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Stewart deals, and he tries the bunt and bunts it foul. So it's an 0-2 count. Boy, if Stewart could get through this inning clean, Tommy Lasorda will thank his lucky stars. Here's the pitch. And that's not going to happen. That's a base hit in the left center, and out trots Tommy to take out Stewart. So Rose at the plate, and Joe Beckwith will make his season debut. So on the really Happy New Year, Joe Beckwith, July 23rd, better late than never, a big part of that Dodger staff down the stretch. So I'll give you his real numbers. He went 2-1 in 82 with a save and an ERA of 2.70. 40 innings, 38 hits, 2 home runs. He walked 14 and struck out 33. He's a ground ball pitcher and features a fastball about 93. Throw to first. Dernier is back, but barely. So Dernier has 31 steals on the year. You know the hit and run, or you know the pitch out's coming. So there goes Dernier. The throw down to Russell is not in time. So Dernier, with a 1-0 count to Rose, has himself a steal, and the go-ahead run is in scoring position. They're going to pitch to Rose. 0 for 3. And there's a base hit left side. Baker picks it up. Dernier will score. And so the Phillies get on the board with speed. Speed, along with texting while driving, kills. So Rose on first to Gary Matthews, who has doubled. He's 1 for 3 with a strikeout. Again, throw to first, and Rose is back. Double play ends the inning, but the Dodgers are now down a run, 3-2. Beckwith deals. Matthews, fly ball to left. Baker, back a few, makes the catch. So Rose holds, and it's again Mike Schmidt. 1 for 3, and his 35th of the year in the first. Oh my goodness. Ron needs a side. Todd the wet sprocket. uh, Dave is doing the whole sweepstakes thing. So 2 out, or he's going to sell you some magazines. You know what? I could use, I just don't feel hip anymore. Can you sell me a subscription to Teen Beat? I promise I'll get the clear sell. Schmidt strikes out. He swung on and missed, and so Tug McGraw will come in to get the 6 outs. 1 run on 2 hits and no errors. After 7.5, it's the Phillies 3, the Dodgers 2. And so let's tell you about Tug McGraw. Joe Beckwith isn't going to bat. This is relief appearance number 11. He is 2-1 with a save and an ERA of 3.38. He was injured to start the year and has only been available for about a month. His last time out was against the Padres 4 nights ago. It went an inning and a third. Allowed a hit, walked 1, and struck out 2. 13 and a third innings, 16 hits, 5 runs, all earned, including 1 homer. Walked 3 and struck out 9. He pitched against the Dodgers on July 9th and gave up 4 hits over 2 innings. So I need someone that can hit a lefty, huh? You know you're in trouble when Mark Belanger is your best hitter against lefties off the bench at 235 with an RBI. So Belanger is at the plate. McGraw on the hill for Philadelphia. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to DeJesus, a slow little nubber over to Rose. Belanger beat it out. He beat it out. And so he just it wasn't a check swing and it wasn't a bunt, but it was just dead enough on the grass that Belanger got to first. And so that'll bring up Steve Sachs' 0 for 3. We'll go way back to Doo-Doo Ron, the Doo-Doo Ron. Yeah. I am hip to be square. Or squarely injured on the hip. All right, BJ, thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. And thanks for subscribing. So Sachs is not going to bunt here. Belanger on first. Tying run at the plate. Nobody out here in the 8th. McGraw delivers, and there's a ground ball to Rose. His only play is at first. He takes it himself, and at 43 can outrun the faster Steve Sachs. And so Belanger now on second for Landro, who has singled twice, stole 2 bases, and scored both the Dodger runs in the first and the third. So the tying run is at second, 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th. McGraw delivers, and there's a fly ball to left center. Dernier, 2 out. Belanger tags and is going to run. The throw into Schmidt is not in time. So Belanger gets into third easily, and now the tying run is 90 feet away for Dusty Baker, who is 1 for 2. He has walked, singled, and drove in a run. So McGraw feeling the pressure. Here's the pitch. Popped up. Trio. Calls for it. And that's the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. After 8, it's the Phillies 3, the Dodgers 2. So Belanger stays in the game. He'll bat 9th and play short. And it is righty, lefty, righty. And so Tommy's going to go with Tom Niedenfuer. Niedenfuer is 2-6 on the year. That's the bad news in a 3.13 ERA. But he does have 9 saves. This is his 25th relief appearance, his first in 5 nights. He had a 2-inning save against the Mets, where he allowed 2 hits, an unearned run, and struck out 2. So he's allowed 1 homer in 31 and 2/3 innings, 34 hits, 14 runs in total, 11 earned. He walked 14 and struck out 26, in earning his 9th save of the year. He pitched against the Phils last week or a couple weeks ago in Philadelphia and drew no decision. So Bo Diaz is 1 for 3. He has singled and struck out, among other things. 3-2 Philadelphia in the 9th. 5 hits for both clubs. Pitch. Diaz slaps one down to third. Say over to Garvey, 1 out. Both teams have stranded 4 runners, and the Dodgers have an error. Here's George Vukovich. George is 0 for 2 with a walk. Here's the pitch from Niedenfuer, and there's a base hit right side through the hole. Guerrero picks it up, and the Phillies have an insurance run on for Manny Trillo, who has struck out twice. He's 0 for 3. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, Belanger did find the fountain of youth. Man, Niedenfuer gave up some big home runs, especially in '85. He's the one that gave up the Ozzie Smith blast in St. Louis, and then the one to Jack Clark in Game 6 in Los Angeles. Pitch to Trillo. There goes Vukovich. Throw down the sacks, and he beat it out. So Vukovich only had a 33% chance to steal, and he does. That'll be his first of the year. What a time for it. So Trillo has an 0-1 count. Niedenfuer delivers, and Manny grounds one to say over to Garvey for the out. And so the Vukovich steal keeps the Phillies out of the double play. There's 2 out for DeJesus, who is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Todd B is going to let us know who Todd Niedenfuer was dating in the 1980s. DeJesus is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Looking ahead to the Dodger 9th, Pedro Guerrero, Ron Cey, and Steve Garvey. So the Dodgers have the heart of the lineup coming up. Judy Landers, yeah, that's up there on the high in the depth chart. Niedenfuer was thrown from a horse after it was hit by a golf ball? Seriously? Here's the pitch to DeJesus, struck him out. So the 2-2 cutter swung on and missed. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors. It's cardiac time here in Los Angeles. The Phillies lead 3-2. So Guerrero, Cey, and Garvey, all right. Oh, okay. All right-handed hitters to face McGraw here in the 9th. Guerrero has a single. He's 1 for 3. McGraw's pitch, and Pedro slaps one down to Trillo. Over to Rose, 1 away. Here's Ron Cey, 0 for 3 with a strikeout. McGraw delivers, and there's a fly ball to left. Matthews in the corner makes the catch for the 2nd out, and so the Dodgers are down to their last chance. And it's Steve Garvey, who has struck out twice. He is 0 for 3. Judy Landers was in a chorus line. She was also in Dallas, too. Played, I think, one of J.R. Ewing's mistresses. You know, Ken Kercheval, who played Cliff Barnes in that show, died in the last week. Anyway, so here's Garvey, last chance. McGraw trying to get a 2nd save of the year. Glove slapping against the thigh. He delivers, and Garvey slaps it to DeJesus. This should be it. Over to Rose, and the Phillies get a big win. They beat the Dodgers here 3-2. So McGraw gets a handshake from Diaz, and you can see the pitching matchup. A 2-inning save, just scattered out 1 hit. I mean, the Phillies have a team ERA of 3.15. The Dodgers 2.84. So Christensen gets his 11th win of the year. 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned. He walked 1 and struck out 4. Dave Stewart gets saddled with a loss, although he pitched well. 7 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 coming on to Schmidt homer in the 1st. He walked 1 and struck out 9. Beckwith and Niedenfuer allowed the 2 hits and struck out 2 in their relief work. So the Phillies only had 6 hits, They left 9 on the. No, they didn't leave 9 on the bases. Schmidt did strike out twice, but he had the homer. So he's hitting .366 with an OPS of 1305. But your MVP is Tug McGraw. He came in, had to pitch well late, and he did. And so let's get the other games of this Friday going. By the way, no wonder why. You look at that, they've stolen 91 bases. The National League has stolen 91 off of Bo Diaz. Okay, so the lead now is 5.5 for Montreal and 10.5 for Los Angeles. So as I say hi there, as the other games get played. Yeah, that's a fun team. That's a fun team. Needing fewer Gitas for blown save. Oh, Dave. All right, let's go through the rest of the scores. Cubs beat the Reds 4-2. Dickie Knowles goes to 6-6. Detroit, with Jack Morris winning his 13th, beat Texas 10-5. Seattle over Cleveland 5-4. Gaylord Perry with his 5th win. Baltimore beat Oakland 4-2. Tippy, Martinez, and Tyler 2 goes to 4-0. Ken Singleton with the 7th of the year. California beat the Yankees 6-3. Jeff Zahn wins his 11th. Reggie's in town, but Doug DeCinces hit his 16th. Pittsburgh 4, Atlanta 3. Battle of the bullpens. Sokolvy beat Herboski in 12. Chicago beat Toronto 3-2. Barojas, I'm telling you, he's their ace. He's 12-4 out of that pen too. Kansas City beat Milwaukee 5-3. Armstrong with the win. St. Louis downs Houston 2-0. Andujar and Suter combined for the win there. The Red Sox win a game. How about that? They beat Minnesota. They're 34-61. 6-2 the final there. Glenn Hoffman with his 6th home run. The Mets beat the Padres 4-1. Neil Allen with his 11th save, and Gaff, which seems appropriate for the Mets. And Montreal, the lead is still 6 because they beat San Francisco 5-4. So as we leave you, here's all the standings and stories heading into the Saturday game between Toronto and Chicago. So Montreal by 6 over Philadelphia. Los Angeles double digits over Atlanta. No changes in the American League East. Toronto has crawled to with 8.5, but Detroit by 2 over Baltimore and 6 over Milwaukee. And California in the American League West 1 over Kansas City and 5 over the White Sox. So that'll do it for us here today. The joys of card and dice with ID Jester, Dave Demos, and we'll see who else tonight. We're going to say around 7:30, 8 o'clock. We'll see what time works for everybody. And so until then, I'm Ron Chuckett. Hit that like and subscribe button. The bell tells you when we go live. And so baseball tomorrow, Toronto and Chicago from Comiskey. We'll see you then, tonight and tomorrow. Take care, and thanks a bunch.